Hey guys, this is going to be an unboxing and overview of the Slingbox M1. So this box will allow you to basically watch your TV on your mobile device or a computer from basically anywhere, as long as you have an internet connection. So let's first take a look at the box. Well, first I want to say right now there are currently a couple models. So there's this Slingbox Player, which is a higher version. It has like HDMI component. This one only has component. This is the M1. The version before this was the Slingbox 350, but I believe the only difference between those two are that the 350 only has a wired internet connection, whereas this one you can do wired or wireless. Also, this is compatible with a Windows 8 app, but honestly I think that's useless. This, at the time of this video, I bought this for about $150. I think you can find the previous model for something like $120. But also, before the 350 was the Slingbox Solo, which is this one. This is my old one. It crapped out on me. This basically has also everything you need: component cables for your cable TV or satellite or dish or whatever. And this, I think you can still find this for about $80. So if you want to go a little bit cheaper and still get the same features, you can try to get the Solo. I just went with the new one. So yeah, the list of providers that it will work with is listed on the back here, and I think theoretically you can do it with pretty much anything that has component, except Slingbox has it has the IR, so you can control your box as well. So let's open the box and take a look at what's inside. And the reason I prefer this, or the reason I even have this over something like having just a streaming subscription through like Netflix or Hulu, is because live sports. So right now, live sports, obviously you can't get, if you have NBA League Pass or if you watch the NFL, they have streaming options, but they always black out your local team. Basically they're forcing you to have a TV subscription. But with this, I'm actually using my TV subscription, so I can still watch live sports, and that's the most important thing to me. Hopefully someday we'll be able to stream without having a TV subscription, but we'll see. So we have a quick start guide, basically explaining all the what's in the components. And the whole setup guide, steps for setting it up. Also, they give you power brick. You have your audio composite cables, and then your video component cables. So those are pretty standard. And then you have this as well. This should be for the IR. So the IR for your remote control. So this you would attach on your cable box or your satellite box or whatever. There is an IR receiver there, so you would put this right in front of the IR receiver, so that when you can control, basically use your phone or your computer or whatever using to watch your Slingbox you can use that to send signals to your box. So that's what that is for. The M1 itself, if you guys want to see a size comparison compared to the Solo, it is not quite as wide. It is about the same height and a little bit shorter. Overall, it's a little bit not as wide. Otherwise, it's pretty much the same size. The front is a gloss black. Sides and tops are matte black. And yeah, so you got the Slingbox logo there. Rubber feet on the bottom, venting. And then on the back you have for your power here. You have your wired connection here. You have a small reset button there. So you can do composite or you can do component. They don't provide composite cable, but hopefully you're not using composite still. And then over here you have your little jack for your IR receiver. So if you guys have an older Slingbox, like a Slingbox Solo, it pretty much looks the same as your older ones. So now I'm gonna set it up and try it out. Okay, so pardon the mess, but I have everything set up now. I have my Comcast box here and my Slingbox here. So I'm using component. So I have basically the component cables that would normally go from my Comcast box up to my TV. Instead, those component cables go into my Slingbox, into the composite in, and then on the, which is on the bottom, and then on the composite component out, those go to my TV. So basically, instead of going from Comcast box to your TV, you go from your Comcast box to the Slingbox, and then Slingbox to your TV. So the Slingbox acts as a middleman. And right now I am also running a wired connection. Also, I have the IR set up right here in front of my Comcast box, although I believe this Slingbox has an IR blaster set up, so I don't think you necessarily have to have this, but it definitely helps. Okay, so something that kind of sucks, before you could watch your Slingbox through a web browser. Now apparently you can't with the M1. The M1 doesn't support web browsing, so you have to download the Windows application, which you can find on their website. Once you do that, you'll go through some simple steps, just basically figuring out what model cable box that you have. So that'll give you the ability to have the correct on-screen remote, so you can properly control your cable box. So just follow the on-screen instructions. Once you do that, then everything should be good to go. So again, watching this is completely free in terms of you don't have to pay a subscription to Slingbox. You just basically buy the device, but obviously you have to have TV. So as you can see, let me go full screen. So as you can see, there's maybe 3 to 4 second lag right now, but still pretty good. So on the desktop, you also have the option of looking at the guide. So you can basically choose your channel here. So you can just choose, let's do ESPN, and then it'll send the signal to your remote. It'll actually change the channel in your home. So that's another disadvantage of having a Slingbox, is if someone is watching it at home, HD channels aren't showing. If someone watching at home, obviously you're going to be changing the channels on them. But also another advantage of this is you can bring up the remote, so you have the actual Comcast remote, which is the same thing. It looks exactly like almost exactly the same as the remote that I have. This is essentially the same thing. So if I wanted to flip a channel or do anything, I can just use the digital remote here, and it'll do it on my TV. So the guide on here works too. If I click guide, even on-demand stuff will work as well. Now, as for the mobile app, they have mobile apps for Android, iOS, and Windows Phone. They also have apps for Roku, Apple TV, and the Chromecast. The app does cost $15, so that's kind of annoying. They also have a version for phone or tablet, and they're each $15. I would recommend just buying the app for the phone. I think with the tablet version you can get a full on-screen remote, whereas the phone version you just get these simple buttons. But I think the phone version works just fine, so I would just go with the phone version, which is what I have here. So with the mobile app, I'm connecting right now. I'm on my Wi-Fi network, and I'm gonna turn the volume down. So yeah, as you can see here, it's running. It's about 5 or 6 seconds off, but it's not too bad. And then you can change HD or SD. You also have a guide on here. There's a guide here, so you can see what's on and select certain channels, just like on the desktop. These are you can also bring up remote-ish. So you get these controls on the sides here. Basically, it has up, down, left, right, back, okay. It has page up and page down. Also, you have more controls here. You have a number pad, so you can type in specific channels, and then you have miscellaneous right here, which is all your it has like your DVR, last channel, power on and off, your video on demand stuff, stuff like that. So this works great if you're not at home and you're trying to watch your TV. If I use this when I'm trying to watch sports or something, but I'm not at home, I'm able to watch it. Or if you need to take a crap or something, you don't have to wait till halftime. You just go, bring your tablet or your phone, and you can watch. Also, it works pretty well on your mobile data network. Still works on 3G. If your data connection isn't that great, it'll go to standard definition, and yeah, it works pretty well. So that's been an unboxing and overview of the Slingbox M1. If you guys have any questions, leave me a comment. Also, if you like this video, give me a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe. Thanks.